Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I'm representing the theMiNE team. First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity, as this is our first, let's say, step into the public with our idea. This is the first time that we are bringing our idea into the public. And please remember that your feedback is very valuable to us, as we are preparing to launch the ICO, hopefully at the end of this month. So let's dig in. Okay, it's a bit laggy. Good. So the agenda is how we come up with this idea, what's the problem that our project is solving, because every project, in order to be successful, needs to solve a problem. What's our solution, what's our way, proposal. What are our key advantages that position us in a space to propose this project? The budget, of course, the team, which is one of the most important aspects. And we really want to emphasize that this is only the first step in a much bigger picture, in a much bigger roadmap. So how we came up with this idea? We, at theMiNE, which we like to call ourselves, we are a team of passionate people about crypto. And we are doing mining for our own for a couple of years, and also for small private parties. And now, being inspired by the idea of token as a service, and why not, actually we were inspired by the TAS project. The idea is that we wanted to be theMiNE with the mining as a service. Okay? We want to bring this concept up front. What's the problem? What was the problem that we identified? We have been mining for a couple of years. It's a hassle. It's a real hassle to mine. So going above and beyond the small projects, like you don't find any video card on the market, and then you have to assemble them. In order to build the miner, we use 7 vendors from 3 continents. Then, of course, you need to overclock the hell out of them because you want to have top performance, but you want to consume as less power as possible, so you undervolt them. Then where do you store them? After 4 or 5 miners, then the power outlet in your home snaps and you need much bigger electricity network. What do you do when you have a big mining operation? You have a lot of cost. You have a lot of things that you need to take care. And then where we bring a different approach is like, what do you mine? Okay, you can mine that and that and that. What's most profitable? How do you maximize your hardware and stuff? And of course, then is the maintenance. Things break, things needs to be replaced, and who did mining knows about this. And the lovely part, after 2-3 years, you start all over again. So if you don't want to mine to yourself, the next aspect is, the next option that you have is to do cloud mining. So a couple of the, let's say, opportunities that we identified in the cloud mining is that one, which is, we think, most important, is you get stuck in a contract and you pay upfront for everything. So you pay for electricity for 1 or 2 years and you pay everything upfront. You pay for the hardware. You pay for a lot of stuff, maintenance fees, and at the end, after the mining contract ends, you get stuck with nothing. So we want to bring here a new and a fresh idea about how mining can be done. We want to be one of the most transparent and open project regarding to mining. So our targeted customers are people that want to do mining and don't want to have a hassle. And most important, we want to be open for institutional investors. And I'm going to detail this a little bit later. So what's the solution? Okay? Solution is, our proposal is tokenized mining. Okay? So we issue the token in order to fund the project. Then, on a monthly basis, the net profits are divided between token holders, reinvesting, and company revenue. Why is this the part with the reinvesting? Because as you may be aware, or are you aware, mining, the first day you put your equipment online, you start to produce less and less because mining difficulty grows, competition grows. So our we want to be prepared for that. So we want, worst case scenario, with the reinvestment part, we want to maintain the value of the token. Why? It's really important to maintain the value of the token because it's a token, and we want it to be listed on exchanges. And if you don't want to mine anymore, you are free to sell your token. So we never heard about something like that. The main idea, we want to keep the value of the token and we want to increase the mining capacity. Best case scenario, the value of the token will increase as the results. We have a mining strategy. We want to mine always what's most profitable. So we are treating the mining strategy as, let's call it like an investment fund. Okay, we want to diversify your portfolio. You want to be able to mine what's most profitable now to pay electricity and fixed costs, but maybe you want to mine some coins that have higher probability of growing into the near future. Okay? The idea is that we want to take everything what can be taken out from the mining. We want to maximize everything, all the profits. Why we are doing this in Romania and what are the key advantages? We have one of the most cheap prices in electricity, 3 times lower than Germany, second cheapest in Europe. Okay? Right now, hydropower plants 7. Inexpensive labor and low operational cost. Okay? We are in United Europe. We are in the EU. We are a NATO country, but in Eastern Europe and right here we have one of the lowest operational costs, rents, salaries. The fixed part is really low. Then we have a really light company revenue scheme in which we are a small team. We are proud of that. We only hired internally only the people that we truly need them, and everything else we subcontract when we have a spike in demand in working in labor. What's the token distribution? So of course, before launching this project, some people were faster than us in launching tokenized mining, but we saw a big gap, a big discrepancy between the dollars that are being funded, that the project is receiving, and a big gap between the money that they are receiving and a big gap in the hardware in which they are investing. So we want to invest more than 90% in hardware. We don't have huge ICO cost. We don't have huge operational cost. Like, we think that we are more than decent in how we are distributing the token and how we are investing people money. Before talking about the team, I want to mention a thing that we want to go as we want to approach the security part. We want to be a security. We want to be listed in the Gibraltar exchange, and we want to be open so that institutional investors can invest in us. Yeah. So we are not running away from that. We are going full ahead. Okay, so we want to be theMiNE. That's why we choose the one. We want to be mining as a service in the market. Okay, the team, most important. We have a dedicated core team of people that they work in big companies, entrepreneurs, freelancers. We have young and passionate people, but long story short, we have somebody that takes care of the community, somebody that is experienced in field managing because you have a lot of hardware stuff to manage. We have people which are experienced in, okay, I need to fire up a little bit the slides, the roadmap. So great team, only 6 people core. When we have high demand, like we need to install a new mine, then we subcontract a lot. As I said, this is only the first part in a bigger project. Next step is to launch our own mining pool because 3% from a huge mine is a lot. Stalling shares, fees, they add up a lot. Then we want to make this public pool open so that other people which are mining benefit from our knowledge about what's best to mine right now. And let's say the cherry on the cake, after we want also to let's call it, we want to be able to give our know-how to other entities so that we can expand. Let's call it a franchise, okay? We call it master nodes. But the cherry on the cake, and this I'm going to finish, is that later on, after we build a brand of our own in the market that people can trust us, we want to launch an ASIC project in which we want to develop ASIC hardware, and we want to distribute this to the token holders. So that's a future idea. Okay, that's up. Thank you very much. Open for question.
Can I have a mic? Unfortunately, we don't have any time for questions for this pitch. We went
No,
a little bit over.
one second. Yeah, we have
You get 10 seconds, Ruslan.
Short reply. Thank
please,
you.
yeah, about the hash pool, the risks. Yeah, you're going to have the electricity you mentioned is quite high. Yeah, you can have 2.6, 2.8 cents in Washington State, right? So you should think over about the better deals with the Romanian government, I think. It's good you are moving with the equity. Yeah, you're selling actually equity, so it's going to be security. It's really good. What about the listing? You shouldn't care about the listing, because so far the people are getting. So far you are present one exchange, it doesn't matter, and the people are getting the revenue share. How are you gonna beat the risks with the hash pools? How are you going to choose them? This is very important. So to avoid like recent hack, yeah, that happened.
Pretty much, we have a background in cybersecurity of our own, but it's really not such a big idea to every week to get all the results in cold storage. It's really not that hard. So what happened recently, I really don't imagine how they allowed that to happen. So electricity cost, this is what we are currently having right now, 10 megawatt capacity. We met some interesting people here that are going to help us with some green energy, and we're going to go to that price. We are not going to compete with the lowest price, because we don't think that the lowest price in electricity is everything.
I'm going to mine synthetic data.
It's a second question, Ruslan.
Mining cryptocurrency is good, but what about the synthetic data mining? It's more profitable, actually. Twice, 3 times. Are you planning to do that?
We are, right now, after you ask me, we are most likely that we are going to look into that. So, look something for the future. Okay.
That's all the
Thank
time
you.
we have. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.